What is
I can't do y'all right now. I'm just saying.
I know.
Did you see how she did the glasses?
And I can't find anything that I need. So what is it?
Look, I want to put them on top of my head. You know how your mama put her glasses on top of her forehead?
Let's see. What are you looking at?
That's that. She said go.
Now she tells us to go. So we are live. Hi, how is everyone? Happy New Year for starters to everyone. Thank you for joining in. Alex, have we gotten anybody in at 7 o'clock? Because I don't want to, you know how I am. I want to say hi to everybody. So do we have anybody on right now? I see 0. So then I don't want to talk until people get in. How about that?
Let me text my kids and tell them to stop what they're doing and log in.
Thank you. I know, and that's how I feel. And you know how I feel about that. Seeing as how I'm on everybody's stuff, I'm always on.
Girl,
don't. I need everybody to log on and see my friends say, "Oh, you didn't remind me," but y'all don't have to remind me about your stuff. Whenever you do, you don't have to remind me.
You know what? I say that too. When you tell me something, I put it on my calendar.
I don't get that. I'm going to tell them now, log on to Facebook. My podcast is on. I know Alex is texting me. I know. My podcast is on. So anyway, and then Alex, you're so nice. You even sent me the link to share with people. I'm not doing that. They need to do it themselves.
Yes.
So anyway, look, Michelle,
can she text me the link so I can share it while we're talking?
She's texting you the link to share it. But Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy New Year, ladies.
I'm excited. So we'll just have a little conversation until we get some people on because, first of all, the information you have to share with us is really good information. I know as a small business owner and just as an individual, during tax season is a frightening time for most. And I think some of that prep work and information that you can share with us, especially as small business owners, is really going to be helpful, helpful for some individuals. So thank you so much, Michelle, for being on. Again, hello, everyone, and welcome to Business Behavior Podcast. I'm Kelly P. Hodges, and we have Chandra Brooks, and we are with Hodges Communications Group, and we are so excited. And Happy New Year to everyone. I said it when we came on, but there was nobody on because we had to text all our friends and family and remind them that we're on. So thank you all for joining. And if you could text the other people and everybody else and let them know and just remind them. But thank you all so much for joining us. Today we have, we're going to talk about tax preparation as small business owners and individuals. And we want it to be not such a frightening event. So here today, our guest is Michelle Levi McDaniel, who is the owner of Elite
Tax Services.
But I don't want to forget because doesn't it have the word image in it? Michelle, what's the name of in it? Elite?
So the incorporated name is Elite Image Tax and Professional and Elite Image Tax and Notary Service, and our DBA is Elite Image Professional Services.
Okay.
So we use that more in the government agency contracting space. Okay. As opposed to regular, B2B and individual business.
Okay, and that's good. That's interesting. Good information. So can you just briefly explain the difference in that those two spaces that you just talked about with the DBA and then the other space that you referenced? What's the importance?
So when I first started about 12 years ago, I was just simply a sole proprietor. About a year later, then I incorporated. That means that I am a single member LLC. I don't have partners, and so that is my corporation. Under that, you can always have an umbrella and have sister or partner companies that the main company owns. So my partnered company under my LLC corporation is Elite Image Professional Services. And so each are two separate entities, but Elite Image Professional Services is owned by Elite Image Tax and Notary Service LLC.
Okay.
They're two separate entities. They file two separate returns, but the owner is Elite, which inevitably is
You.
Michelle. Yep.
And see, that's good information. And I know I just recently had a conversation as early as a couple hours ago. I was talking to my brother about his company, and he talked about the DBA and going through that process and LLC and all that. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure that has been useful information to someone. And I think a lot of times we have an idea and we don't realize how important that aspect of it is, and having that foundation. And that's what we do at Hodges Communications Group, and helping with that foundation piece and making sure that people have an understanding, because we have these great ideas, but it's still all a process.
Right.
So for you guys, so for example, you guys do communication, right? Your media. What happens one day if you want to start a magazine or you want to start a newspaper? Then your Hodges Communication or that behavior business group can start a media group, or you can start a newspaper group, right? And so your parent company can own whatever can own those other companies. So just
So, thank you for
it's what it is.
And one of the, go ahead, Chandra.
No, I was going to say, let's dive right in, because everyone's excited to learn about this COVID release, and how all of that is going to happen. If you own a business, can those loans be forgiven? What steps does a person or a business owner need to take to address those issues with the COVID relief fund?
So how about we do this? Let's start.
I told her a lot. I said Michelle is going to take over the whole podcast. So Michelle, you got it. Just go with your audio, visual, whatever you got.
I really, I know. Look, first of all, let me say thank y'all for letting me be a part of this, but I don't like that Kelly know me like that. Okay. I'm not feeling that. So, but I seriously though, but I wanted to say it in the way that I think that it would be more cohesive for everybody. Like, what's the number one thing that's on everybody's mind right now? And I think that is the stimulus.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So let's answer a few questions on that. Number one, I never got a stimulus. Well, I need you to know that Sally Mae, Fannie Mae, and all of those people didn't take your stimulus. So if you have any outstanding student loan debt, they did not get you on that, okay? Because the student loans, because of the CARES Act, is in total deferment. If you have past due child support, okay, then they took your stimulus to pay up your child support. Okay. So if your stimulus paid off most of your child support and you received the difference, then that's why you only got the short end of that refund. If you did not get anything at all, it does not mean you did anything wrong. Okay. So remember, when the CARES Act came along, only a certain amount of money was budgeted for small businesses, for individuals, right? And very few senior citizens that were on Social Security received anything on stimulus because they don't file taxes anymore. Okay. So if you did not receive it, we're going to talk about what's called a rebate refund credit. So this year, when you file your tax return, I need you not to be online trying to do it yourself.
Okay. So let's put a pin in that right there.
Now,
there are a lot of people that will try to do it online themselves, or there are a lot of outlets.
TurboTax.
And I know, I know you don't want, we're not going to mention it, but there are a lot of outlets that people use, and I've never understood that, like, because I've always had friends that have been accountants that have done my taxes and things like that. My sister also works and does, she volunteers and does that through her job and helps people with their taxes. So I've never understood how that process works and how people get their money so fast. So what are they doing?
So they're using a bank product. So if you went online to TurboTax, you can put your direct deposit information in by yourself.
Mhm.
That's not rocket science. But what's scary this year is that there is a whole new line item on your tax return. Okay. If you receive the three questions on the new form on the rebate refund credit, the main three questions are this. Number one, did you receive a stimulus in the summer of 20, which was the first round?
Okay.
The second question is, did you receive a stimulus in December or January 21, which is the second round? If you received stimulus, you have to report that. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I
You
got
have
to report to them that they sent me some money. That's what you're saying. So we got this. So those two departments don't talk to one another, I guess.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
So let's just say you got something in round one, but nothing yet in round two. You need to report that you got something in round one, and on did you receive stimulus in the second phase? The answer is no, and your amount is zero. If you receive money in rounds 1 and 2 and you don't report it, you're gonna have to pay that money back.
You say
Okay?
you have to pay it back?
That's Chandra, you heard me? Yes.
So we have to pay. You have to pay it back if you don't report it.
That's correct, because they already know that you've done that. So it's almost like the earned income credit, right? So what the government did is gave you a credit, an early credit, and now you have to report that you received the credit, and so it can offset some different debt that you may have. If you don't have any debt, then you'll get your stimulus through your refund.
So
y'all can't be having no side conversations.
Baby,
Well,
you just struck a nerve. Go ahead, Chandra.
Yeah, I want my money. I don't want it to apply to that debt. I want it to be free, like all the other people got theirs free and was able to do what they wanted to do with it.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, like I told my cousin, I was not at the legislation meeting. Look, they did not ask me for my votes, right?
Okay.
And I know we're laughing about it, but everybody's having the same feeling. This is real.
Absolutely.
So let's just say you do have some outstanding tax debt. And when you file your taxes and you report, hey, Chandra, did you receive your stimulus? No. Round 1, 0. Round 2, 0. So what's going to happen? They're going to give you your stimulus through your refund. But at the same time, if you have outstanding debt, they're going to take your stimulus to pay the debt. So each one of these different phases have two different legislations attached to them. And right now, I think that's what people need to understand. The CARES Act and the Stimulus Act are two separate things, and so many things different happened. But that was the one thing that I really wanted to stress, is the very importance of this stimulus money. So if you didn't get it and you owe money to the government, you say you got back taxes, then I'm just going to be the one to tell you not going to get it. Right? You're just not going to get it, because what they're going to do is apply your refund credit to your outstanding debt. So I'm suggesting to people that if you did not get it, go to irs.gov and click on profile, create yourself a profile, and then look at your account history. And some of y'all already know that you owe. You just need to know the dollar amount.
So don't play crazy and call you and say, what's going on? Where is my stimulus?
So there's no
stimulation.
And there's no more dodging.
Yes.
They want their money.
They want their money. And so then the second part to that is this unemployment issue. If you receive unemployment, please report that, because the state of Texas, Social Security Administration, and the IRS, they got married, right? So now they're talking and sharing information.
Okay.
I need you, if you've been on unemployment, you need to report it.
So,
And I'm
Okay. I got a question. So what if you claim your college student and they had a job and they then received unemployment? Do that go on my taxes or do he need to file independently?
so first of all, let me tell
I
you
need all my
something.
money.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I need you to put her seatbelt on, because put her seatbelt on, right? So listen,
I need all my money.
fir- first of all, your college student is not your dependent anymore. Let me tell you why. Because
Oh, okay.
remember, we don't get exemptions on our tax returns anymore. Remember, they took that away. So any child over the age of 16
Yeah.
becomes less and less of a dependent. You can still carry that dependent on your insurance, but you're not getting a credit for that person anymore.
So I
Look
can,
at
so I can, so I can stop being mad about not having no dependents then.
that. Thank you. So if your college age student is working, and then they receive unemployment, and if their unemployment and their income is more than what you support them, they need to be filing their own return, and you just need to let them go.
Did you hear that?
But what about all that tuition I'm paying for? I can't get the
So
right thing off? Or whatever you do in them boxes and you put that information in.
Michelle, she needs
And
to,
make my dick go down a little bit.
you need a contact. Michelle, she needs a
I'm sure
contact.
everyone has to
I think
question because
so.
I mean,
No, it's
wow.
no, it's a legitimate question for parents, and it's a very hard thing because we've been holding on to our kids until the age of 24 because we're paying tuition.
Yeah,
But remember in the Reform Act a few years ago, we stopped getting exemptions for
he
people.
did.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so when you don't get an exemption for someone, why are you trying to hold on and still benefit from that?
Mm-hmm.
You right.
So I'm gonna
But
tell. So I just I know y'all don't like what I'm saying sometimes, but I just
We appreciate your honesty and being able
so
to share and be forthcoming because this is good information. Sean has a question about unemployment. Did he type the question in, Sean? We can't see your question if you have it.
yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to him when he types the question on the screen.
Okay.
But we have less than about 18 minutes left. So can we get to some of the other information that you wanted to share that's really important for small business owners and our nonprofit organizations as they prepare, and then also some of the filing dates and things like that?
All right. I need y'all to listen. And Chandra, don't be popping your eyes over there because I see her eyes.
Girl,
Oh,
you've taken her out. She's
yeah.
done. She's done.
listen,
You can forget her.
listen. So okay. So if you received PPP in the first round, the Paycheck Protection,
Mhm.
you should be receiving something from your bank, your lender, to offer you forgiveness. Okay. If you have not received that yet, I suggest you call your lender to
Mhm.
see when the forgiveness application will come out. If your original loan that you got last year is forgiven, it is not taxed. That is that if the loan is forgiven, you do not pay tax on that money. If your loan is not forgiven, example, if you borrowed 150 and the bank only forgave 50,000, then you got to pay them interest on a loan of $100,000. Okay? So the goal is to get your original PPE loan forgiven, small businesses.
Mhm.
It does not hinder you from applying again if you want to. Okay? But my suggestion is before you incur more debt, I do understand you're trying to stay alive and you're trying to, keep the business open, staff, and so forth. Please go to your lender and see and ask for your forgiveness. Now, in the stimulus package that we just received in December, they did expand expenses. The first go around, they didn't have very many expenses. So this time, yes. So let's just say you bought equipment, you know, to enhance where the business is, right? But you couldn't have went out and bought a new car. You can't go and do any of those things because the expenses have to be tied to you making money. So if you so for example, you guys are in media. If you bought new cameras, new printers and things like that, those type of expenses are forgivable, right, with your bank. So you have to be able to do that. If you paid staff any type of salaries, if you paid rent on your office space, I didn't say mortgage at your house. If you paid rent, right, and those benefits for those employees, in most cases, that money is forgiven. If you did not pay for things that were business related, then that is a loan that you're going to have to pay tax on because that becomes income to your business, and then you're going to owe the bank. So I need everybody to understand the severity of that. And that includes small business owners.
Michelle, we have a couple of questions that we want to get to really quickly. Can you
Yes, ma'am.
hold your thought? The first question, Sean asked, he said, I received my unemployment furlough benefits through the Railroad Retirement Board. Since he wasn't actually unemployed, does that constitute unemployment benefits? So does he have to report that? How does that work?
So Sean should receive something from his employer or the state of Texas. Railroad, they don't pay Social Security at the beginning. They pay more or less towards the end. If he receives a 1099-G, then he needs to, excuse me, then he needs to report that. If he receives a 1099-G, if he does not receive a 1099-G, then it is not taxable to him. So it is based on how your employer or your administrator set up those unemployment benefits for you. Okay. So he should either receive something from the employer. If he receives something other than his W-2, then that, then he may have to report that. Okay. So look for a 1099-G. And 1099-G is government. That's what the G stands for. So if you receive something from the government, then yes, that is taxable. I see.
Nakia has a question. She wants to know, can I get my EIDL loan forgiven?
No, ma'am.
We're gonna lose all our viewers today. Okay.
So let me tell you. So EIDL was set up to help businesses stay afloat. It did not have a forgiveness component attached to it. Now, can you ask your lender? Yes, you can. But please note that if they tell you no, excuse me, if they tell you no, then don't be surprised. That is why they gave you. So like last year, you got the loans last year, and your note was due this year where you start to make payments. They're not giving you a forgiveness option. Only the PPP. Thank you. Okay. If the loan was attached to the Small Business Administration, again, check with your lender because different lenders have different options available. Okay. So please check with your lender to see what the options are available to you, and then you'll know the best solution. So please don't get the ghetto news, right? Don't go get the ghetto news, and you got to open your mail when it comes. And if you haven't received an email, because banks have already started emailing, if you haven't received the email, please reach out to your lender and ask for forgiveness. They'll tell you They will tell you, if I'm sorry. No.
Okay. So so
Wow.
Nakia, the answer to your question is no.
Wow.
Sorry. Okay. As we're gonna start wrapping.
Kim has a question.
Kim has a question. Can we see Kim? Can you see Kim's question? Which community banks?
Yes, I see. Which community banks do you recommend?
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you, and I hope Kim asked me this question. I got to think about how to be politically correct.
Well, we're here because you're the expert. So
So let me. So seriously, let me say this: Wells Fargo is not a good option. Chase Bank, not friendly towards Black small businesses, and that's just the real on that. Okay. If your revenues are not where they want them to be, then I wouldn't even apply with them, even if you bank with them. That is not a good choice for us. And I don't like, just out loud saying those, but that's just kind of what it is. You might want to, Kim, you might want to look at Houston BDI. It's over in the same shopping center with the Houston Texans. So they're on the other end over there. Moises is one of the lending mortgage bankers. So your community development grants, they're a little bit more leaner. I know that he's one. If you want to look at, I don't know anything about Unity Bank. I haven't heard a lot from Unity Bank. BB&T, they've been pretty generous to small businesses. BBVA has been pretty generous. I know that American Express has a PPE and an EIDL option. Square, PayPal, those alternative lenders, they do have them, but the interest rate on them may be a little bit higher than what you would pay if you went through a bank.
Okay. And we have another question. Can you, our super producer, Alex, can you put up the question from Mr. Levi? Do you see his question? Do you have to apply for EIDL before PP?
No. Ken Levi. The answer is no. You can apply. There's no particular order to apply for any of these options. But let me tell you what I'm recommending to everybody before you apply for any loan, because that's what they are, loans. Don't get it twisted, okay? Please look at the grant opportunities that are available that you do not have to pay back, okay? There are quite a few of them. Harris County, they had one in the first rollout. They'll be putting some more dollars out. And their grants went up to 200,000, depending on the size of your business. The city of Houston, they had a grant program through the Office of Business Opportunity. You don't have to pay that grant back. The state of Texas has Texas Back in Business, which was enacted after Harvey, but they're now a part of the yes.
Okay.
So please look at this. Fort Bend gave out grants to small businesses that applied in Fort Bend. So I'm going to suggest that each of the listeners, if you're interested, check the resources to see what free options you have first before you apply for the loan. I will tell you, most of the time the grants take a little bit longer for you to get, but a little wait is more important to me than paying back interest, because I don't like paying anything back, and I wouldn't want that hanging over me. I had one client that applied, and she was so happy, and she said, "Hey, Miss Michelle, this is what I got." And then I said, "Did you read your paperwork before you sign this?" So she has a 30-year payment plan for repaying her EIDL. That's worse than buying a house. So if you don't need it, don't apply. If you don't have a business that you need it for, please don't apply just to get the money. And I need everybody to understand that because this money is free, and not free, because they're making it available, So many people are doing fraud to get it.
Yes.
Please know that this is federal dollars. So when you're dealing with federal dollars, that means federal time. TIME.
Wish I did.
Yeah, we have. You see the other question. Oh, okay. She just a comment. Thank you so much. She says this was valuable information. Well,
I love you, Nicholas.
we only have a few seconds left. What closing thoughts do you have for our listeners as it relates to tax season? Tax season.
How much time do we have? No.
Go ahead. Well, we can extend
So,
for about 10 minutes because it's
no.
so,
so in all seriousness, and I try to make taxes and finances is already a stressful situation. And so I try to make it a little bit more relaxing when we're talking because it's already stressful to us, and especially during this COVID when everybody's trying to reshift finances and make things better. So what I would tell people on the takeaway with this is please don't do your taxes yourself this time. That's please. I need you. I know we get funny and we don't like paying people for stuff, right? But this is the one time that I'm going to suggest that you pay a resource, trusted resource. I don't mean cousin Jane down the street that know how to read the questions. That's not what I'm saying. Anybody can answer the questions. But remember, you got to know how to apply what you're reading and where it goes.
Right.
So please, because of the severity of the stimulus package, the refunds, the grants, I'm just going to really suggest this go around that everybody just simply reach out to a trusted resource.
Okay.
If you can't afford and if you can't afford to pay someone, go to the irs.gov. They have advocates that will walk you through. But please know that advocates, because they're not making any money, you're not going to be a priority. Right? You got to sign in, you got to wait, you got to go through whatever little process they take you through. So there are some free options.
So what I'm hearing is that it's worth the investment to have a professional, a seasoned professional. And I think a lot of times it's just, sometimes we just don't like people in our business.
Exactly.
And so you definitely are saying and want to convey the message that it's worth it to have a professional do your taxes.
So let me tell you, and if you're concerned, I want you to go to the irs.gov and click on tax professionals. My name should pop up because that means every year I go and I do CPE hours. Every year I have to take my test when Kelly is calling me, asking me, can you see my email? So seriously though, I mean, every year I'm required to do a certain amount of CPE hours, and I do them because that's the only way to keep up with the tax update because it's so many every year. So if you're concerned about if this person is legitimate, and sometimes even if their names are there, there's also a list of people that have lost their license, people that are pending losing license. So if you go to irs.gov, you might be surprised what you find.
And that's irs.gov. And what is that under?
So you click on tax professionals.
Tax professional. Okay, we found it. Okay.
Now, Michelle, what?
Oh,
Yes.
Michelle, we know that you're legitimate.
Right.
But this is a good resource. I didn't even know this resource existed. Very familiar with irs.gov, but didn't know that you could actually go in and look at this information. Now, this is a really good resource. So irs.gov and click on tax professionals, and it will give you a list of the tax professionals in your area that are qualified, certified,
everything.
Taking those classes, and then those that you might want to be a little leery of as well, because people drive by, tax places pop up all the time during tax season. So
no, I'm gonna just put it out there that in 2020, there was a lot of businesses that established themselves, and one of them were being tax preparers.
Yeah.
So I really do seriously need our viewers to take heed to what you're saying and go to someone who have the skill set in this area, not because they're trying to make that extra money and charge you $400 to even prepare your taxes, and then you're going to be out of more money because they didn't comprehend the question that was asked.
One other add-on to that. So because we are a full service accounting firm, we are open 365. So April 17th, when the tax season is over, do you realize how much business I get during the off season? And I don't even promote that because you're gonna get that love letter in the mail because you went to somebody else. Right? So that's right. So if you go somewhere and they close April 17th and you can't find them, you can't call them, and you got a love letter in the mail. Come on now.
That's horrible. No, that's horrible.
That's not funny. It's not.
I know. It's not funny, but it's the truth though.
But it happens, and what we're talking about, and it's funny because we called you the cleanup woman because we are the cleanup women in our industry. We're the people come to after they spent $10,000, and now they want to come to us because they got about $2,000 left, but they still want that $10,000 worth of service that they didn't get. So we understand about being the cleanup woman. We definitely.
I am responding. I believe his name is Sean. Was asking what's the name of my firm, and if I type it in the chat box, will he see that?
Yes, and Alex, our super producer, she'll type it in as well, and she'll pin it to the comments as well. Okay.
Thank you, Alex.
All right. So, well, thank you, Michelle. This has been awesome, and we probably could have done an hour, but we try not to hold our viewers too long. But definitely for this great resource, you can follow it. It'll be posted to the Hodges Communications Group Facebook page and also on our downloaded to our YouTube page as well.
And what I'm walking away with is let those college students go.
Listen,
they're not benefiting me none. I'll feed them on the weekend. That's it. But I'm gonna let them go.
and this is a true story. Madison Kelly is she turns 18 on Friday, and she's graduating high school. Right. Maddie will not be my dependent. So another little tidbit, and it's another show. Go ahead on and let those kids go because you don't get exemptions, right? And so what can they do now because they don't have a job? They can apply for their own FAFSA. That's another show.
That is another show. So we'll have to come back with that later on.
Yes.
They're filling out those applications for school.
Yes.
Michelle, thank you so much for reaching out and coming on the show and sharing that awesome information. The contact information for Elite Image Tax and Notary Service LLC is on the screen. So please follow or contact Michelle if you have any additional questions, and don't try to soak up all that information from her. We talked about that on this year. Pay your consultants. Do know that our time and money is valuable. So if they say a 15-minute consult that's complimentary, don't stretch it to 45 minutes. Don't do that.
I've gotten real good. I set my clock at 13 and a half minutes. And then my favorite thing is, Michelle, can I pick your brain? No, that's called a consultation.
It is, Michelle. Yes, Michelle. I have a post that I put up like January 2nd or 3rd that talked about that and how to say no when people are trying to get you to do work for free. That's another show as well. So thank you all so much for joining us at the Business Behavior Podcast. I'm Kelly.
I'm Chandra.
All right. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Good night. Thank y'all.
Bye.